The official visit of President of Bulgaria, Rumen Radev, to Kazakhstan. We are broadcasting live from our studio in Astana, where we will be providing commentary on the significance of this historic visit and explain what it means for bilateral relations between the two countries. Now we can see that already the motorcade of the President of Bulgaria is approaching the accordion. Let's take a moment to introduce today's distinguished guests. Bulgaria's president is serving already the second term. He was elected first time in 2017 and now he's serving second term starting from 2021. It is expected that during his official visit to Kazakhstan, there will be several memorandum of understanding signed between the governments, basically focused on investment and economic sectors, and also it is expected that the new sectors such as IT and green technology will be discussed and will be on the table on the agenda of two leaders. Let me remind you that the President of Bulgaria arrived to Astana yesterday evening, so his official visit started on Sunday and continuing today. It is expected that two countries will foster their cooperation, especially taking into account that the trade turnover between the two countries in 2023 amounted for $95 million, while in 2022 it was amounting for 181, so it's dropped to almost 50% due to economic challenges and instability in the global arena. So it is very much expected that the two leaders will make significant and specific steps to foster and to overcome this figure of trade turnover this year. Now we can see that the presidents of both Bulgaria and Kazakhstan are inside of the presidential residence of President of Kazakhstan, Kassym-Jomart. He is welcoming the Kazakh delegation, accompanied by Kazakh President Kassym-Jomart. We can see the Kazakh ministers shaking hands of today's distinguished guest, President of Bulgaria. And let me remind that there were few changes recently haven't taken place in the government of Kazakhstan, so we can see already new ministers on the board. And now there will be a turn of President of Kazakhstan to introduce, to welcome the Bulgarian delegation. And we can see that two leaders are committed to make new agreements today. And now President Kassym-Jomart is welcoming the Bulgarian delegation who has come to Astana within the official visit of President of Bulgaria to the capital of Kazakhstan, Astana. And now we will be hearing the ceremonial part of the ceremony.
Алдан қарсы алу үшін рау!
Hey,
So the ceremonial part of welcoming of President of Bulgaria and the capital of Kazakhstan, Astana, is wrapping up. And today both leaders are expected to have bilateral talks to enhance the cooperation, specifically in economic and investment sectors, as it was published on the press service of Accorda. This let me know that traditional ceremonial parts that usually take place in the presidential palaces of President of Kazakhstan named Accorda. And now let's take a moment to introduce today's distinguished guest. Rumen Georgiev has served as the President of Bulgaria since January 2017. And was re-elected for a second term 4 years ago in 2021. He entered politics as an independent candidate backed by the Bulgarian Socialist Party, known for his firm term on national sovereignty and his calls for a more balanced foreign policy. Radev is a vocal supporter of energy diversification, regional stability and stronger EU cohesion. Diplomatic relations between Kazakhstan and Bulgaria were established in 1992. Since then, both countries have maintained steady political dialogue through economic cooperation. And today, the President of Kazakhstan has made one official visit to Bulgaria, while Bulgarian presidents have already made and visited Kazakhstan 3 times, the last visit taking place in 2010. In terms of trade, the figures remain modest, partly due to global economic instability. In 2023, bilateral trade stood at approximately $95 million, with Kazakhstan exporting goods worth $27 million and importing $67. This was a significant drop from $181 million in 2022. The primary institution mechanism for bilateral cooperation is the Intergovernmental Commission on Economic Cooperation, co-chaired by the Ministers of National Economy of both countries. Its role is to foster practical partnership in sectors like transport, energy, agriculture and technology. And few notes about Bulgaria itself. Bulgaria's foreign policy is firmly anchored in its European Union and NATO memberships. The country advocates for strong transatlantic ties, supports the EU's enlargement in the Western Balkans, and prioritize regional connectivity in Southeastern Europe and the Black Sea region. At the same time, Bulgaria has consistently expressed interest in diversifying its diplomatic and economic partnerships in Asia, particularly with countries like Kazakhstan, which plays a growing role in global energy markets and east-west trade routes. So this visit may serve as a catalyst for expanding cooperation in education, tourism and cultural exchanges. So Kazakhstan, as a regional leader in Central Asia and a gateway to large markets like China and the Eurasian Economic Union, presents Bulgaria an EU member with new economic and logistical opportunities along the Middle Corridor. It is expected that several memoranda of understanding will be signed today, possibly laying the groundwork for deeper cooperation in energy, infrastructure and green technologies. So it's clear that today's visit is more than a symbolic gesture. It's a strategic step toward building a deeper, more diversified partnership between Kazakhstan and Bulgaria. The outcomes of today's meetings could influence not only bilateral ties, but also broader cooperation between Central Asia as a region and Southeastern Europe. As the ceremonial part of the visit wraps up, we will continue to follow the press statements, official agreements, and strategic discussions taking place at Accorda and beyond. Stay tuned for more updates throughout the day on this important diplomatic event. Thank you for watching. I'm Balzhan Samigulina, and this is Silkway TV channel. We'll be back with more live coverage. See you soon.